Hi, welcome to Chapter 3 in SEL 151, Spot Reporting. So today we're going to learn about special story forms. We're going to start with a game story, so let's begin. Well, spot story, I bet every one of you know what is spot story. Spot story is actually when we write about sporting event and we write about the facts, what is happening about the sports event. For example, if we're writing about a match, a football match. So we are going to write a fact about the football match. What are the score, who scores, and what is happening during the game, if there is any chaos happening during the game. So we're putting all the factual things in that spot story. Okay, so that is what we call a spot story. Now, when we are going to write a spot story, we are going to use the inverted pyramid. So all of you must have been very familiar with this. This is a pyramid, an ugly one. Okay, and then for writing a spot story or news, we're going to write in form of inverted pyramid. Inverted pyramid means that the bigger things on the upside means that it is very important, and the smaller one here get the less details. All right. So as you can see here, the inverted pyramid is actually a traditional news writing form. So whenever a journalist or reporters are trying to write a reports or news, they are going to use inverted pyramid. The key points of the story were mentioned in the opening paragraph because we want the readers to understand about what are they going to read about. Okay, and then the news is tagged in the following paragraph in order of descending importance. So the smaller pyramids becomes, it's less important things that we're going to put in there. I'm going to erase this, it's so ugly. All right, let's continue. So this is the forms of inverted pyramid. Okay, the first one, inverted pyramid. The first one is the information that you must have for your communication to be successful. For example, you want to talk about JDT won match last night, for example. So these are the things that you must put or mention in there. So you have to put the scores, and you have to put mentioning that the JDT won the match last night. So the second one is additional information that is helpful but not crucial. For example, who scores it? Who scores for JDT? So it is important, additional, but not that crucial. If it's not there, then it will be okay. Okay, and then for the third one is if it doesn't have it, then it's okay. Okay, this is because the crucial must go at the beginning because readers are excited to read at the first paragraph. Some of the readers, they only read the first and last paragraph. They doesn't read in the middle of it. And some of us will also read only the first paragraph, the opening, then we doesn't read anymore. So as you can see here, its crucial information must go at the beginning because they could stop reading at any time. As a reader, we should know that the reader can stop at any time. So that is why we have to put a very important information here at the very beginning. Okay, so this is the inverted pyramid. All right, so the inverted pyramid should give you the lead. The lead is consistently answering the W and H questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. And the most important information goes first. Okay, and then you have the body. The body is the supporting details. Maybe comes from the interviews, maybe come from the scores, or maybe come from the references, maybe come from a tweets. It can come from anything. And then the details should be lesser and lesser because people like they doesn't want to read anymore. They only read in the first paragraph. So you should know your reader well. Okay, that is why we are using inverted pyramid. Okay, so this is the 8 essential parts in a game story writing. So quite different from writing a news because in a news we are going to write about the details, but in a game story there are few things that must be included in your writing. First is the final score of the game. Second, who is playing, who is participating. Number 3, where was it? If you're talking about JDT versus Kedah, where is it played? Is it home, away, or whatever? So you have to tell where the game was played. What type of sports were played? Is it football, hockey, rugby? So you need to tell this, because sometimes people overlook this because they tend to believe that everyone knows what sports have been played. For example, I put there um, JDT versus Kedah FA. So I assuming that people know that it is a football game, but not everyone knows. So we have to put is a football game. We have to mention it, okay? And then identify whether the games is between girls or boys, because sometimes there are certain games who played by girls under 19, for example, hockey girls under 19. So you have to mention that. Identify what league or divisions the teams are from. Are they from Division 1, Division 2? Are they from Super League or FA League, whatever league, okay? And then a description of winning play and or the reason why the team won. So you have to mention a little bit. Maybe you can say because they have a very good scorer, the scorer scores very well, or you can say that the teamwork between the scorers and the assists were very good. So you have to mention that. And then number 8, you have to include both teams' records and how the outcome affected to the league or division standings. You have to mention that even though Kedah lost to JDT, however, in the division, how is their positions and so on and so forth. So you have to mention that as well. So that are the 8 essential parts in a game story writing. So it's a very simple thing, but these are very essential things that you have to put in your game story writing. If you missed one of it, then it'll become, I could say it's not an effective game story writing because you're missing a point there. Okay? Okay, here is the steps in game story writing. So the first thing that you need to do is we need to do a research. Definitely, when we are writing about any news or any sport report, we must have our own research. Our own research because we want to know about the player, we want to know about the managers, the coaches, what are the situation of a team. We want to know what are their current position in the division. Okay, in what league they are playing. So we need to know all this. So we need to do our own research. We cannot like placed intuitions towards it, and we cannot like having said that we are um, acquiring information from others. No, we need to do our own research. And number two, number two, ham. Number two, mind my English. Okay, it's been a while since I'm talking to this screen. I look a little bit silly, but it's okay. Number 2 is get organized. Okay, get organized means just don't overlook practical things. Okay, try to get in to the match so that you get in. I do understand some of us maybe we're not into that game or we're not into that sport, so we don't understand it. So just don't go for a very practical thing. Just sometimes we have to believe in our intuitions, and we have to observe towards what is happening in a game, okay, to make us understand. For example, to understand about full play, to understand about um, what else? Free kick, okay, corner kick, to understand that. So we just need to get organized, and we have to put ourselves in a very in each and every match so that we can understand it. Okay. Number 3, we have to write it down so that we don't lose or we don't lose what we tend to write about. Sometimes most of us we have the ideas, we know what we're going to write, but we don't write anything or we don't record anything. So when we don't have any record, then it just like flew that is very something that not good, especially as a sport reporter. So whenever you have the things, write it down, record it so that you can come up again towards it later. Okay. And then you have to plan your story because you need to do a review at the end of the match, and obviously with the final result. Okay, so you need to plan your story, whether you want to talk about something that is very crucial first and then go for the score, or you want to talk about the score first and then you're talking about the controversial things that happens in a match. So it's up to you. Plan your story. Get going. Okay, get going means that you can move towards major incidents. In every match, there will definitely be a major incident. Either it's from the referee, from the players, from the coaches. Okay, things will happen. Okay, and then you can include some of the insights of the players or coaches. Okay, you can ask for their opinion about the game. You can ask their opinions about their rivals. So this will definitely add some spice in your story. Number 7, be balanced. Should not be biased because JDT has their own fans, Kedah has their own fans, so you should be very balanced, not being biased. Just report that what is happening in the field. Don't try to provoke the fans because this will definitely create a chaos. Okay, so these are the 7 steps in a game sport writing. All right, so that will be all for chapter 3 for game story. Okay, I hope that you guys understand. We're going to continue with the features, sidebars, and columns in the next week. Check it out.